If you're wondering what I was doing before I started recording this video, I was holding up my editor. You know why I was holding him up? I was taking a dump. Oh yeah. I was letting out some turds, ladies and gentlemen. Dad was letting turds out of his hole. I was letting turds out of my hole. Now the turds are gone. Now I could do the news. Come on, editor. It's time for you to edit for Dad. Dad is an empty hole, and he wants to regurgitate gaming news. Let's get into it. Skip it up and that up. Hey, you want to hear a joke? You want to hear a good joke? I'll tell you a joke. Dad'll tell you a joke. Sony believes in generations. Remember when Jim Ryan said that? Where he indirectly insinuated that there was going to be no cross-generation games, and then he went completely back on it. And the fact that he didn't straight up say that Sony was only going to make PS5 games dedicated to now current gen consoles. He was like, hey, I just said we believe in generations. I believe that there is an 8th generation, there is a 9th generation. That's all I was saying. My hair looks like a cockatoo. Maybe I'm just jealous that Jim Ryan still has hair and he's actually older than me. Maybe I'm just an irrelevant middle-aged man on the internet who's just salty. That's why I make these videos. But how can I be salty after that amazing dump I just took? Answer me that. Well, anyway, what was one of the big system sellers, and it's still an excellent game, that came out when the PlayStation 5 was released, day one, was the Demon's Souls remake. And it's a true remake from the ground up of the original PS3 game. It's not a remaster like it looks next gen. Well, now there's murmurs that Demon's Souls remake may be coming to the PlayStation 4. This comes from comicbook.com. I'll read it to you, then we will discuss. According to PlayStation Size, which is a Twitter account that obsessively tracks all happenings related to the PlayStation Store, a PS4 version of Demon's Souls has recently appeared in the Marketplace database. Although it's not clear what this might mean, it could hint that Sony is looking to bring Demon's Souls, the remake, to its last generation platform in order to drum up sales. While the game itself looked incredible on PS5, it also definitely seems like a title that could be played on PS4 if the specs were just lowered a little bit. And here is PlayStation Game Size's tweet. Demon's Souls news. Yes, Demon's Souls have PS4 version in database, but this version can be canceled, can be released soon, or can be only small test version for developers. And then it shows a picture of Demon's Souls and being all demony. All nice and demony. Now look, this doesn't mean the game is actually coming to the PlayStation 4. It could just be misinformation straight up. It could be that, like you said, it's just a test beta version. It could be that, just like I said, misinformation and they're totally wrong. But could the Demon's Souls remake run on the PlayStation 4 if they scaled it back a little bit? Of course it could. It's a good looking game, but I could see the PS4 Pro running that game at 30 FPS, no problem. And yeah, so here we are again, another game that we thought was just going to be a current generation game coming to the PlayStation 4. Now, for anyone who thinks I'm complaining about that, I'm not. I understand. Look, it's tough to get a PlayStation 5 right now. Sony wants to sell the software. It's a big chunk of where the money is when you're a console manufacturer, is games and licensing and accessories. That's where the profit margin is. So that's fine. But it's just funny how Sony, again, Jim Ryan, PlayStation boss Jim Ryan came out and said, we believe in generations. And then every single game, or not every single game, but a decent chunk of games that we were thinking were only going to be for the PlayStation 5 are also coming to the PlayStation 4. The next God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, Returnal, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart seem like they're just going to be current gen for now. Returnal, in my opinion, doesn't really look that impressive on the PS5, but I didn't play that much of it. I'll have to play it again. Maybe I'll have a different take, but I could see them running that game on the PlayStation 4 if they scaled back the visuals as well. So I personally don't care that these games are coming to the PlayStation 4. I get from a business perspective why Sony's doing it. It's still relatively new in the 9th gen console life cycle, and there's still more people that own the PlayStation 4 than PlayStation 5. But when you came out and said we believe in generations, it was a little bit misleading, Jim. And you shouldn't have done that. And that's why people are annoyed when they see all of these next-gen games coming to their previous-gen consoles. I think it's understandable. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. And always empty your hole before you record. Could be dangerous. The seat I'm sitting on right now may have never been the same if I evacuated my hole right here. Be careful, kids. Hey, if you enjoy my content, consider becoming a Review Tech USA member. I'll have a link below in the description. I live stream now on this channel all the time, and it gives you access to cool emoticons to use as well while I live stream. Again, link below in the description. Thank you for your continued support.